All right, what's going on? It's Bobby Skinner talking Giants with your Week 7 offensive line report. And this is an ugly one, right? The offensive line report has been a source of happiness for the New York Giants this year, for talking Giants. This one is not going to be that. A rough outing, and we're going to start the video breaking down Josh Ezeudu, his first start since he was injured last year. Basically became a full-time tackle, and specifically left tackle since then, right? Spent the offseason only working at left tackle. No guard snaps outside of a hand, maybe 3 or 4 he got in training camp. So has he improved? Has he improved? I don't think he has very much, and we'll get into all of it. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. This is the lifeblood. All right, let's get into it. First play with Ezeudu. Obviously at left tackle, lined up here. And this is the first sack of the day that he gives up. We give up a sack on third down with help. And I'm telling you, this is the difference of a first down or not, because there was a Darius Slayton who was breaking open on this play. Or excuse me, Malik Neighbors that was going to get the ball on this play. So we get help from Daniel Bellinger, right? So let's freeze frame here. When you get this help from Daniel Bellinger, when you get this help, what you're doing is you're forcing him to not have that momentum, that's work speed, but also part of it is not letting him bring the fight with the hands, right? One of the hardest things as a tackle is like bringing your hands before he does, because they'll use that against you. So he's in this vulnerable spot. Ezeudu should be up on him in his chest. Instead, we're waiting. We're waiting for Bellinger to get off this block to throw our punch. We throw our punch. Defensive end swipes our hands off of us. Our feet are not ready to work out here. So give him the defensive end an angle right at our quarterback. And we're giving up a sack. You gotta be ready. You should be getting on him and bringing that punch now. Instead, we're waiting. Now we get those hands swiped off of us. Or we're not moving out here like we should. And we give up a sack. Next third down sack. Next one. Nolan Smith, speed the power. It's a 238-pound defensive end right there. .6'2", 238 pounds. And we just get taken... We just get put in the weight room. We get benched. Ezeudu's not going to have the length advantage most of the times at tackle because he's a guard. This is where you should have the length advantage. And we do nothing with our hands besides keep them down at our hips, keep our chests exposed, and bring them late. Leave our pads out there, right? Leave it exposed. You put your hands out there. Throw some bait out there. Or just be the guy to punch first. You leave your chest exposed. And we get punked. We get punked back into the quarterback. And Theo Johnson doesn't get the ball because we get punked on third down. Next play. Again, speed the power. This time against the older Brandon Graham. Ball gets out really quick on this one. Footwork isn't awful, Like he's got quick feet. I don't think he has good feet, but he has quick feet. We're 1, 2, 3. Like we're in a good spot here, all right? But we're placing our hands. There's no violence in them. We don't get to our hop step or anything. We just get walked back into our quarterback's lap. And luckily the ball gets out quick. When it's watching in full speed, bam, right in our quarterback's lap. Next play. We're going to get beat inside. Again, quick feet, not good feet. 1, 2. Right, 1, 2. He stutter steps. He goes to work inside. Instead of pushing off with this left foot and putting this right foot down, right? Like we've seen with, Andrew Thomas or other tackles, we decide we're going to lean. We're going to lean and lunge and get beat inside. Quarterback's got to mess around his feet. We get frozen by that stutter, get beat inside. Next play. It's the defensive tackle. He swipes that left hand off of you. Where's the right hand? When you're at this point and he's going, that right hand's got to be punching. And it's just not doing anything. So he takes that right hand, swipes your left arm. Then rips inside. He's just stronger than you. Like just lack of upper body strength. Again, this is the defensive tackle. Working his moves that he's not really usually getting to work against you. Next play on play action. We got to control blocks when you have them like this. When you have play action, and this player is playing the run, get on him. Get in his chest and be ready to mirror one way or the other. Instead, we're punching, replacing, punching. Get on him. Get on him. Get a stronger grip. Our hands get swiped off of us. He rips. And we stop our quarterback from being able to hit a second window throw. So it's not great pass protection. Now there a handful of good snaps here. Like you see, he's got quick feet, right? He's not going to get beat by foot speed. When he throws out a punch there, replace his hands. That's a good play there. That's his best play of the day. Another one here versus Sweat. Again, this is a decent rep. Right, he goes for that cross chop. Nothing there. Get our hands on him. Keep our feet moving. Solid rep. And then in the run game. Now, they didn't really run to Ezeudu's side at all, so there's no front side of block plays. Unfortunately, the backside wasn't very good either, right? We're running duo. We just need to keep this block guy here, right? We don't need an ass-kicking block here. And instead, we're not gaining any ground. See the feet? Watch this, right? See? Da-da-da-da. Quick feet, right? You love that. Quick feet. Da-da-da-da. You got to gain ground. You have to gain ground. You have to get here and pin and seal him off. Okay, we don't need to ask, again, we do not need this ass-kicking block. We need to seal this off. We need to seal this off. Instead, this defensive end's getting in on the play. And we're going to run the same play again. And see, we're not gaining any ground with our feet. We are just chopping our feet and not gaining any ground. Here, good. Gain that ground. Instead, you have all this space. You go for a punch. He swipes hands off of you. It's getting on the run. Not a bad run, though. And then here on the backside of wide zone. Again, this is where the quick feet should take advantage. This is where the quick feet should take over. You got it. Get into his chest. Like, we're quick enough. Get into that chest and drive up. Instead, we come with a high pad level. Now he's controlling us. We're not able to flip our hips. And we're getting tackled, our back tackled from the backside on wide zone. Don't want that. So, rough game. And I think it might only get worse with the opponents, different opponents that the Giants are going to get. Like, this is the game where defensive ends get their sacks. Pittsburgh, I think it's going to be a rough moment. I think it's going to be really hard for this Giants offense if Ezeudu is their answer at left tackle for the rest of the season.
What?
What? A chill's in the air. Leaves are falling to the ground in football every week, and that's what it's all freaking about. And guess what? There's something else that's coming back. You can make each weekend even more exciting by getting to the action with our partners at DraftKings, the #1 place to bet on touchdowns. How about that? Right now, all new customers who bet just $5 will instantly get $200 in bonus bets when you use code WORLD. Stay in on the action and use your $200 in bonus bets to bet anytime touchdowns on DraftKings. By the way, guess what? This is back too, son. Tank is on. Tank is on. Don't win any games. So, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. New customers use promo code WORLD and bet just $5 on any wager and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. That's promo code WORLD only at DraftKings Sportsbook. You'll be glad that you did. And the tank is on. I'm telling you right now. The tank is on. All right, with John Michael Schmitz, this is the game he gave up his first sack, and you can see it on the screen right there. And then I saw he was credited with like 4 other pressures. I don't know how they got at those numbers. And like, the grade was really low, and I don't use the grades, but it does pique your interest when you see it being that low. And you're seeing the bad plays on film right here, right? And I'm showing them to you. But I actually thought there was some really encouraging stuff here from JMS. Now, again, he was going up against Jordan Davis, who's like a bad pass rusher a lot of the times. But a lot of people want more JMS segments. And unfortunately, as a center, and especially in the way the Giants' offensive line was been operating, you just don't get a lot of one-on-ones. Right? There's just not a ton of one-on-one reps in pass or run to really give you this full segment on. And, it was like some decent, some good, but a lot of double team help. This was the first game where I thought he just got a ton of one-on-ones. Obviously some double help. Right? I left film out that would have made other film breakdowns when it came to JMS. So let's get into it. First play. This is the sack that he gives up. It's play action. They run a good blitz with Nakobe Dean, who we know is like extremely athletic. So it's pretty simple. This is play action. Everyone's accounted for their gap, right? Jermaine out here, GVR, JMS, Runyon, and then here. Even though I guess they're doing the backside on this and having John Runyon hinge back. Nonetheless. I mean, he sees it, right? We're here. We're at this point. We see the play that we're trying to make. And you just got to move your feet quicker. And I know you don't want to get flat because you don't want, to get overzealous and then he works back inside of you. But the reality is once you're here, you got your feet, your hands on him. You got to get your feet moving over with you. Instead, we throw the punch, we turn our hips, and he's able to get upfield and he gets a sack. Can't have that, right? You just centers. You may, if you're giving up more than 1 sack per year, you're not doing so hot. And that ends up being JMS's first sack of the year. And then his other really bad play was here. I mean, he just gets clubbed by 97. We get to the full man relationship. That's where we want to be. And he just times up JMS's punch. Now, here's the thing. You could call hands to the face on this too. I mean, he clubs his head. But still, you don't want to let him time up your punch. You want to get in his chest. But that's the other bad play. Like, these are other 2 plays that I think that can be accredited as pressures. And tell me, like, if you think these are these awful center reps. Like, do you think that's an awful snap? All right, we set. We throw out our hand, trying to, again, something JMS has really worked on this year, and which I think has helped him improve. Hasn't been great, but has helped him improve, is not letting guys time up his punch like you saw in that last play. Right, so we throw that left hand out there, try and get him the defensive lineman to throw something. He does, so he ends up swatting at nothing. We place hands on him. Right, we're in his chest. But now he works his hand off of you. You replace. But you got to keep your feet moving with that replacement. Right? When he worked, got to keep your feet moving. Keep your feet sliding. And then Drew Lock ends up scrambling for 13 or 14 yards or whatever it was. And then this next play, this actually ends up being a sack that Jermaine Illuminor gave up, and we'll break that down because we're going to break down all the sacks after this. And we're sliding. Here we're good. Defensive lineman turns his shoulders. And he's just able to like swim off of you. You just want to be able to punch and extend at this point. Right? Don't just allow him to attack your back like that. Have a little more patience on this to be able to, have some space between you and the defensive lineman. And DJ ends up getting sacked. Here with Illuminor. And we talked about it a little bit with Ezeudu on the chip help. This is a different pass set, so this isn't, or unless Jermaine Illuminor is wrong, where he's supposed to get aggressive on this pass set. But it's a 3rd and long. And you see, like Jermaine Illuminor's, he's working his just normal kick set pass step. But you're good. You're good here, right? This is the proportion you want to be. We protect inside, and you just have a bad punch. It's slow. Our hands are wide. We're leaning a bit. And Huff just times that up. Is able to bend that edge for a sack. Right? And Illuminor doesn't really two-hand punch a lot. And on this one, he does, and it's, again, wide, slow, and you're leaning on it. And that just makes you really vulnerable. Defensive end is able to get a sack on you. But back to JMS. Here, play action. Right? This is really good pass protection here. I don't care if it's play action. Snap the ball. Get your hands on him. Extend. Keep your feet moving. Good hand placement. Good job. Good job. Next play. Again, he's not facing a true nose tackle, so there's not going to be very many just one-on-ones from the snap and no other player here. But again, throw out that hand. Try and get him to work something so you can land your punch. Get your hands on him. You got the full man relationship. Head, your head even with his. Hands inside. Good feet. Good play. Next play. Again, sliding. Full slide. Defensive end's working outside in. He wants to work that outside in. Jalen Carter. Land a punch. Bam. Slow down that momentum. Bam. Land the punch. Right? Land that punch. He wants to work inside of you. Take that left foot. Drop it back. We're pretty even. He wants to work back the other way. Use that momentum and that leverage against him. Get on him. Get on him. He wants to come back this way. We're here. GJ throws the ball to touchdown to Theo Johnson. Offensive pass interference. Theo. Got to have that on. Put the hand on the hip. Put the hand on the hip. You got away with a little bit at Penn State. They're going to call that. Next play with JMS, right? We got these wide alignments. Just patient in this, right? You know that they're stunning, or, at least having the guys working inside. We set. We've got good space here. He works inside. Land your punch. Good placement. Good feet. Good extension. Ball's out for some quick game. Next play. Same thing. This is the sack we went over before. Jalen Carter. Bulls Greg Van Roten, right? So, Greg Van Roten's not at the depth that you want. That helps you out. Right? You're expecting to have Greg Van Roten not get pushed back like this. So that means we got to get on him now. We got to get on him. we got to move our feet, and we do. We get it. So now we're horizontal with the line of scrimmage. We got hands on him. We're anchoring down. He wants to work a swim move and leave his ribs vulnerable. Get in them and push. And I get you have the help of GVR here, but that's good stuff for JMS. 8-sack game. I wanted to put their other 4 on here just so they're all on film for people to see. 2 of them are on quarterback. 1 Daniel Jones, 1 Drew Lock. You're going to see this one. And first, so let's go through it. This is Hank, curl flat. I think we're supposed to be thrown to the flat here. Right? They're in a soft, and this is first down too. If this was third down, I'd get it. I mean, this is the throw. This is the throw. I mean, these are your 3 read players. This is the throw. You'll see it from the back end. I mean, that ball should be out, right? The ball's supposed to be out quick. I mean, we're 1, 1, 1. JMS is holding up while Runyon goes to help Ezeudu. And that doesn't work out, right? But that's a quarterback-driven sack. Next one is a combination of Jermaine Illuminor and Greg Van Roten. We'll start with Jermaine. We're good here, right? This is what Jermaine, good. 1, 2, 3. Working independent hands. We put out that right hand, then bring your left hand. You're good here. Now, the issue is you're lunging a little bit. And when you lunge and you got your shoulders over your knees, then you can't move your feet the way that you want to. Right? So then when you can't move the feet the way that you want to, now a guy like Nolan Smith is going to be able to work around the corner. Right? You're not able to replace your hands. You try and replace your hands, you're going to fall forward. So he's able to break that arm off of you, bend, and then forces DJ up in the pocket. And then Greg Van Roten is getting beat by Jalen Carter. We set to him. Good job on the full man. And just not able to replace hands. Keep your feet moving. And then Carter's able to attack the back. Rip. And he's in on the quarterback. Next one is credited to Devin Singletary on this blitz by Nakobe Dean. I want to start with the Illuminor in this one. This is something that we've done in other segments with Jermaine, where he's been a godsend and been really good. I think one consistent thing that I don't like that shows up sometimes is the willingness to throw a guy around the corner. We're 1, 2, 3. We're good here, right? We throw that foot up. Like, just keep moving your feet, right? Not a perfect block, but I think there's a willingness to, I'm going to turn my hips at this point. And sometimes I think it's just him being like, hey, I'm not in the best spot. This is my way of winning this. And he'll give a nice punch, right? And that's going to throw the momentum of the rusher further back than what he expected. And then we're going to end up having the defensive end get around the corner at 10 yards, which is solid, right? It's not great, but it's solid. But that forces your QB up, and then Singletary cuts Nakobe Dean. Not the best cut in the world, but Dean's able to get back up. It's a longer developing play. Sack. And then this one's on Drew Lock. Okay? They're running a full slide. They're running, and I don't know why they're honestly running this protection. I don't know why it's not a half slide. I don't know why it wouldn't be like this is a bad protection call. So let me just show you the play and show you what happens. Okay, free rusher, Drew Lock sacked. I'm not sure why with this safety over the top that you didn't set the protection here, where we're sliding 1 and then 2, these 2 for here to this player, and then you have these 2 right here, right? Instead, we do a full slide. This defensive end drops back. Greg Van Roten's here. JMS is here for this defender to get on. Runyon's there to help. And then Ezeudu's got to take most dangerous. Most dangerous is closest to the QB. And that leaves us free. Now, that being said, Drew Lock is responsible for this. If this is a protection you call and this is the way they blitz, Drew Lock is responsible for this. And Drew Lock needs to throw the ball right here. That's his hot read. And he doesn't. And he doesn't have any urgency in his scramble. And he ends up getting strip sacked. So that's a bad protection call. But with the protection that was called, good job, Greg Van Roten. That actually wasn't a bad play. So I hope you guys enjoyed this offensive line report. You probably didn't enjoy it that much. But I do want to give credit to Greg Van Roten. Bam, pick up that ball. Get a field. This is your dream as an offensive lineman. And they always go for your legs. They always go for your legs. It's kind of bullshit, but it is what it is. We'll see you on the next one. Until then, let's go Big Blue.